Okay, before you leave any comments, make sure you read the description for a bunch of disclaimers that should take care of pretty much every question you guys have in your mind. But I'm gonna save one for this video, which is please don't take this shirt seriously. Stepmother picked it out. Anyway, so that was an interesting pilot episode for this season. I think that this will actually be a nice one, although, unfortunately, Survivor isn't really breaking the, location positive or negativity bit thingy, because, again, when they go back to, a location that they've previously been at, it looks better the second time around, whereas the first one, it doesn't look that good, even though I'll admit, in the original season, the location wasn't that bad, honestly. It was the cast that gave the season more of a negative feel. So just, come on, guys. I really would like that trend to stop. Just, yeah. So, what were my impressions of these tribes? Even though they're obviously trying to play the strengths of, mental calmness and then youthful ability, to be honest, I don't totally think those characteristics are going to show that much. It's just going to be the characteristics of the tribe members that'll just stand out to us. But there will be the question of what's going to happen with the Millennial tribe's greater athleticism versus the Generation X tribe of simply not having as good of athletes due to the fact that everyone on that tribe is older, even though you can be older and still do pretty well in athletic stuff. So, yeah. But I do feel like it's not a bad idea this time, and it shouldn't blow up in everyone's face unlike it did in Nicaragua. Yeah, even though I didn't really mind it at the time, right? So overall, currently I feel like I'm liking the Generation X tribe the best. Why? I think because they're just simply more willing to talk to everyone that's on that tribe. I feel like everyone on that tribe is getting them good opinions of everybody, doing a fairly good balance making of gathering food, making the shelter, and just everything that they could possibly be doing. Whereas for the Millennial tribe, yeah, it did seem kind of obvious that they weren't thinking as well because they ended up going for the chickens rather than getting the fishing gear, which would probably be a good thing out there, even though I don't recall them. Actually, they did do a little bit of fishing in the original Fiji season, but it was more crab fishing. Because I think those waters are a little more rough, and I can't recall if they have a raft, even if it's just bamboo, which is what it generally is now, actually, huh? I don't know, right. But like that tribe, they're not talking to all each other's members as much, even though when you're younger you don't do as much social talking, because like me, I'm a fairly reclusive guy, although if you've seen all my videos, I've given you a few reasons as to why that is. Yeah, but it's nice to see that there is some alliance making, even though, based on the edit, it does seem like a little stupid that that core group of, like, Jay, Figgy, this season's Michelle, and that other guy whose name I forget. It does seem like they're being a little bit dumb, but to be fair, the drama on that side hasn't really kicked up yet, so I don't think we can judge them too much in that degree, but yeah, let's hope they actually realize the number situation, and that it's just a case where they might be able to get in a couple more stranglers. Righties. Now, how do I feel about this, like, legacy advantage? Well, they were very unclear as to what this advantage is, but if you have a very good quality streaming bit, you can read a little bit of the clue that Jessica didn't talk to us about, and then you also hear that the envelope is like an idol and that it can't be stolen, but the player has every right to disclose it, although like with an idol, you wouldn't disclose this. And Jeff revealed in his Q&A that the way it works is that after a person is voted out in their confessional or whatever the heck you want to call that particular bit where they're talking to the cam, well, that's where they decide to give it to whoever they wish to give it. So no matter what, we will be seeing this on day 36, which tells me that we're probably again going to have either 6 people on day 36 or have another weird day 38 challenge. I don't totally like it though. This business of keeping more people, doing more challenges later on in the season, just okay, I mean, like, I know that you don't want to do a double tribal anymore where you send both tribes to tribal council without a shot at immunity, okay, but I don't feel like that's the best move to keep more people for later on in the season. From my perspective, what they should actually do is do what they did in Redemption Island in South Pacific and just get rid of the excess people after the first person voted out of the merge. You know, make them really scramble a lot more because generally, the first couple of trials after the merge, you know, a lot of things change. So do it then. Keeps them on their toes, and then you have fewer people at the end, which increases the risk of paranoia. Eh? Yeah, and I really hope that this advantage here doesn't turn into like a complete make it or break it thing, or a basic guarantee thing that'll really help a person end up getting to the end and win the game, like all what Big Brother Canada does. Oh my god, right? Yeah, but I'm anxious to see how this plays out, and I do like that someone on Generation X has it currently. Okay, anything else to mention? I was really surprised that no one found the idol this episode. I mean, like, they aren't always found in the first episode, but they're generally found in the first couple. I just would have liked to have seen them do that a little bit more. And it's going to be real darn interesting to see what bits of gameplay these people take from Koh-Ron in Cambodia, because we might have the voter block ideal sticking around more than the alliance ID, or that, you know, an alliance could now officially just be free people now. I don't know. That's going to be real interesting to see, although I really do hope the jury member person now doesn't come back. I don't like that, really. Have to take consequences for your actions. Yeah. Okay, as for other social dynamics, well, for the Millennials, I already said all I can, and then as for Generation X, there's a good amount of characters on there, but they all need to, like, find their little niche, and then because obviously we have 20 people this season, it's going to be a lot tougher to give everyone proper, camera time, which really sucks, because I honestly will argue, even though a lot of people are going to hate me for this, given, you know, how reduced the episodes are getting, I really think you should limit yourself to 18 people from now on, you know? I know a lot of people are going to hate me for that, but that's just how I feel. Because 16 people we can agree is too little, especially with this constant trend of people leaving the game under unusual circumstances. And 20, I've already explained that, yeah. Now for that challenge, that was a good challenge. But I really wish that they, hadn't, like, overhyped the difficulty for the puzzle bit, because actually, it's the same concept for all 3 of those puzzles based on what they were showing us. It's just simply there's more pieces to the exact same puzzle, and, there's more individual shape things that you have to memorize, because, like, that puzzle is not terribly difficult to figure out. It just took a while for David and Rachel to figure it out. It just wasn't clicking. It's the same thing as doing a word search. Sometimes you're just looking at it and then you can't find words for over 10 minutes. Other times, oh yeah, okay, come on. This puzzle wasn't terribly difficult. Both charms were fairly equal in that respect. It just so happened that the Millennials clicked. That is it. They won pretty much based on luck, okay? It wasn't really overly impressive. Especially since Jeff stated, you know, that, like, it made sense for Generation X to take that first shortcut, even though I was thinking you actually shouldn't bother with that first shortcut, but, like, I did totally expect them to do the balance beam bit, because nobody wants a repeat of what happened in Vanuatu, even though there hasn't been any failure nearly as epic since then in my memory. Well, it was kind of like... No, different challenge, never mind. That bit for one word doesn't count. I think you will know what I'm talking about, right? So I was kind of disappointed when the Millennials got it, but I had kind of clued in that we were getting more camera time with Generation X, and they were hyping David as a likely person to be going, even though you could argue that they were offering Hannah to be voted on the Millennials, so... yeah. So it seems pretty obvious at first that it's going to be David or Rachel, but then there's that very small bit where Rachel is with Cece and they highlight that they're in trouble. I really wish they had made that more obvious, because I was like, huh? How the heck is Cece in danger when we were at Tribal Council? But it could be that I wasn't paying as good attention, I don't know. And I also wish that they had done the Alliance talk discussion for the votes a little bit differently, although it could be, again, that I'm not paying as close attention, because given what happened at Tribal, well, before Tribal, it seemed like there was a core group of 6 that were thinking about evenly splitting the votes between their targets, which is kind of stupid because that still leaves 4 over that could override you. And then if you go for the prioritized method, like I've been kind of talking about before now, you still have the opportunity to tie. But it seems like the 2 people that that the big guys weren't necessarily talking about, they were actually able to pull them in, even though one of the 2 is David, and then I forget who the other person was, even though Tyson mentioned it in Rob Sestadino's Know-It-All video for this, even though Rob's going to be back after this episode because now Big Brother ends when Survivor begins. So, yeah, I wish they had made that a little better, but thank you, Generation X Trump, for finally figuring out how to split the votes when you have a supermajority. Do not just have your members for one person and go for another person. Prioritize your target. How do I know that they did this? Because all 5 of the guys voted for Rachel, and the free girls who were in this huge group voted for Cece. Thank you! Finally, they get it! Ay. Why the heck didn't Takeo realize this back in the day, huh? Come on! I can't be the only person who thought of this! Huh? Right. And then as for the next week episode... you show too much again, guys! Like, seriously, okay? You could have cut out the bits where they showed Jeff or Dr. Joe running into the Generation X camp, and instead just showed a close-up view of the person that was on the ground, so you had to look real darn hard for us to be able to tell that it was someone from Generation X. Because I think all the guys on the Millennials tribe are more tanned skin, but just... come on! You just give too much away, so the suspense is gone, and then the sympathy factor goes down, even though it's still there. Just, come on. Yeah, like, I'm starting to think that I should just stop watching these now, because they're just showing way too much. And one other thing. This I don't believe too much in, so which is why I'm going to discuss it. I do feel like in the full-length interview, which you can access on one of Dalton Ross's articles, there could be a slight spoiler in there that someone from the Millennial tribe ends up getting the victory, but I mainly feel that way because they show red, orangish smoke in the background. So how do we know that it's somebody from this original Millennial tribe or a swap down the line? Because there definitely will be a swap, because the tribes do have actual names, like Leah and I forget what the Generation X's tribe real name is, but there will actually be a swap here. Alright, so I just thought that was interesting, but the one that I picked out in Cambodia as being a spoiler, I wasn't exactly right in how I thought about that, so I could be wrong about that here, yeah. Hope you enjoyed this video, guys.